EG reportedly set to drop CS teams. Honestly, let's just start with a big giant fucking 07 in chat for that. God damn. I can't say I'm too surprised though. After, I'm sure the article is going to talk about it. Earlier this week, EG started a massive round of layoffs. Yeah, exactly. Cutting staff across the board. Remained was per former employee and even further depleted staff that was already operating as a skelly crew for most of 2023. Workplace was likened to jail with snacks. With overworked employees and overpromised deliverables, on November 1st, EG dropped their Dota 2 lineup. Now, according to a report by Richard Lewis, the organization is looking to do the same in Valve's other flagship title, Counter-Strike 2, one of Lewis's sources say. They'll plan to just stay in Riot titles, they explain, so that means they'll keep the men's CS team until December and will likely cut the women's team before that. Yeah, I mean, it had way too many rosters at one point. It had a fucking clown car of teams at one point. So this is very common. I explain this all the time. So not just like betting sponsors, but sponsors specifically want certain kinds of teams. So, and I don't know all the rules, but I imagine Thunderpick probably can't be promoted in like Riot ecosystem. So they wanted a CS team and for Dota for that matter. So like they probably thought they were getting these these multiple teams that were in the space, and now there's just nothing. So they're going to drop their main teams that drove probably their biggest sponsor, and then also simultaneously piss off their biggest sponsor and lose that as well in the process. Increasingly likely to sell their oh, they're just going to fold, man. I mean, this is just talking about the history, how they bought out the Tarek lineup with the EG roster starting, you know, in 2022. Yeah, I mean, I cannot believe how far EG as an organization has fallen. And this is a great example of, this is not the only group in the space, and this will not be the only story like this. These people that run these companies just have no clue what they're doing, man. They just have absolutely zero idea. They know how to talk to people with money, and then those people with money that don't understand the space give them it, and then it all just goes up in flames because these people just have no idea what they're doing. And it sucks because now we're gonna lose the EG roster, where, I mean, I know people like to flame EG, all that stuff, like, but at the end of the day, we're losing another organization that's full-time salarying these guys. That only bolsters up the scene, because when more people are full-time, that means more practice partners, more it just contributes to the overall ecosystem and the health of the scene, and we're losing that. I guess maybe glass half full is NRG is rumored to be looking to come back, so maybe they're going to pick up some of the EG players. I have no freaking clue. It's just beyond frustrating. And also, just to give you guys some extra context, the CEO that pretty much ran this into the ground, she deleted all of her social medias and then basically boasted about how great of a job she did with EG on LinkedIn. Like, you can't find any of her socials or anything on, like, you know, we'll just say the normal avenue that an esports fan would probably complain. And yeah, I'm pretty sure they weren't re-signing, and their team literally won in Valorant, and they're not really re-signing any of those players because they're just this org is a clown car, man. I don't know how, if they're going to lose their biggest sponsor in Thunderpick, they're going to be able to maintain their League of Legends spot. To kind of give you guys perspective, the average league player, like bottom of the barrel, you're just completely mediocre, makes around $300,000 a year, $30,000 a month. That's if you are, let's just say every player is minimum that $30,000 a month, not including coach. Also, Riot requires you to have like housing and shit in LA or like in that area for the team. So yeah, you're losing your biggest sponsor, you're dropping all your teams, you're probably just going to try to sell your slot for millions, and then they're just going to pad the investors' money back and then say F you to all the fans and then leave. That's literally all this is this. I think they're just going to exit, man. I think EG as a brand is just going to be dead. It's like if Cole were to, like, you know, Cole was, I'm not saying being mismanaged, but they were very late to like the investor money, like at one point, and then they really ramped up. But man, some of you guys might not be as fond of the EG org and brand as somebody like myself, just because I've been around for so long. Like, I'm old as fuck, so some of you don't know, or just, yeah, you just don't really necessarily care, and I don't blame you. But for myself, this is just so shitty, man. It's just sad. I hope the guys at least maybe make their way to NRG or some other orgs that are supporting the scene, and they can maintain like trying to pursue their dream and their goals, man, because this shit's just awful.